And unfortunately, on my way home here on the bus, someone sent me a video of the guy who protests us everywhere. I believe it's from Georgia all the way to Washington, D.C. He made a statement directly to my face that I will follow you everywhere, every town to Washington, D.C. I say, that's your choice. I walk my way. And I saw the video that he got arrested on our last day in D.C. And which I don't want that. We don't want that to happen. But I think when we do something that is unwholesome, with all kinds of things like that, the karma will turn around. If we commit it into a very heavy one, very strong karma, then it will come back with us very quickly. And he has said a lot of things very not friendly at all, like telling all the people that, Buddha will lead you to hell and following me, everybody's gonna go to hell and things like that. All those, when I heard him saying that, it made me sad. I feel bad for him because I know that he will have to pay for it. Unfortunately, he did. He paid on our last day at the Lincoln Memorial. And I saw that video on the bus when we going back here. I pray for him and I will find out. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Big lesson that we learn on this journey. Well, a lot. I learned a lot. But what shook me the most is that people come to me and say that you have saved my life. Not just one, but many. That moved me a lot. And so, seeing so much people coming out to join this mission together, that also tells me a lot. The life of people, the life of human beings are suffer so much. That's why within just this movement, everybody coming out.
As we all know, that Bhikkhu Buddhi is the most well-known Western monk. I saw the video that he met you and even the little speech. What was the first word that he said when he met you? What was the special word that he said to you when you first time met you?
Bhikkhu Bodhi is not the only one, but many of the venerable monks who came and met us in Washington, D.C. That is our last leg. All our venerable monks always said, we're proud of you. And we pray for you every single day. You have done a great job. You have brought all the people together. This is something that is unusual. This is something that is very difficult journey, but you and along with all the monks have done this. In this journey, I know that it's a very tough journey, but you all have completed. And we're proud of you. That is what all the venerable monks are including people.
We are grateful beyond words this today, and so meritorious in the world.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. This question has been asked many times, and I have talked on the way back here in one of our talks in the morning. One of the audience asked me the same question. Is there anything that I can do to have everyone join together, to practice together every day? And I said, my schedule is very tight now. This is Lunar New Year. And you know that May 2nd to May 10th, we have a huge event, international event, where the government of Sri Lanka will come. And I am the one who hosts all this, right? And so we have a lot of things to do. And therefore, I also have online meditation teaching every day, twice a day. Right before we take on that walk, I teach every day. And now, after when I walk, my teacher replaced me. And then when I come back, and all the people already asked me to come back to continue the teaching. And of course, after this walk, so many people already practice mindfulness practicing. And I know that practicing on our own is very difficult. Right? For beginners, it's very difficult. We have no motivations, less motivation to do it on our own. So therefore, I would try my best. I would try my best to be online, Zoom or something, so that everybody can join together to practice every day, and then I can share, when we practice, I can share more about that mindfulness practicing, because mindfulness practice that I share along the way, that is just the beginning. That's not it. That is just the beginning for us to train ourselves to come back to this present moment. But that's not it. Still a lot more to go. So I will try my best. But give me until after New Year. I need to celebrate New Year.
We all love you and we need you one day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all those words. Like I already announced out there, and the way with everybody, if you don't leave me, I will not leave you. And even if I have to sacrifice my life to do this, to bring peace and happiness to the people, I'm happy to do so. That is from the bottom of my heart. Question from again.
Where do you find, where do you manage to find your walk? Where do you manage to find your house?
Where did you manage to find your dog on the walk?
The boy is asking.
Aloka we found from India, Kolkata airport during the walk in India, 112 days in 2022. That is when I found Aloka. And after the journey, 112 days, I brought Aloka here, April of 2023. Yes, in India we walk. It's also very cold too. Very cold in India as well, so it's not snows and ice. And these days, especially Virginia, is when snowstorm. And those days very tough for us. Our monks, you see that we don't wear jacket. And all we can do is just bundle up inside and then walk. And our feet and hands and everything is just numb and it feels very painful. And especially when we caught a cold, we cough a lot. And we have to cover our nose and our mouth when in the cold. So when we cover it, we cannot breathe while we walk. So we have to take it off and expose it. The more we expose it, the more it gets worse. So those are the tough days for us. And after the snow is like very super strong, wind is almost lotus on the ground. With all that snow splash all over our face and body and things like that. Those are the tough days. We get through it. We got through it. And we finally got it done in the truth. So.
Thank you for the guidance.
the last night, which is the GW University, right? As a global loving kindness meditation. That is my first meditation that lead globally like that. I do feel that energy together, just thousands and thousands of people in that stadium alone already. And many more countries also doing that the same thing at the same time with us. And so with that power, I truly believe it will move a lot of people, it will move a lot of people in, will change. Definitely it will also change a lot of things in this universe as well. As long as we continue doing that, our world will become better, will turn into a better place. We give the loving kindness meditation together. It's for all beings. Loving kindness has no boundaries. And so by doing that, it spread all over this universe, so all beings will receive. Right? And so I think aloka will be become like a peace ambassador to spread love and kindness to all the beings. Earlier, I don't know if she's still here. She offered me some hints that she said that she holds a place with 400 rescues, animal and things like that. And she said that aloka give her a lot of hope and many more places too. And I have this thought that I will make a foundation called Aloka's Foundations to support all animals around the world. And I have been having that thought, and Aloka will support all animals around the world.
Yes, thank you. So I was one of those volunteers in Virginia. My fingertips are still frozen, and I can only imagine what you're all feeling. So my question is, do you accept students who are not dedicated to becoming a monk?
Student is not about becoming a monk or a nun to become a student. Lay people also a student. Each monk, each teacher, each guru have a lot of disciples, have a lot of students based on their teachings, of course. So they will become the guide to many lay people. And when the lay people respect them and ask them to become their teachers, their masters, then that's how it works. And so, of course, it's not that you have to become a monk or a nun to become a student of any monk. But for me alone, I feel like I don't have that much wisdom and knowledge to receive students. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I couldn't. And so I will try my best just to share with what I have and what I practice to many people as possible. And I will continue doing that. Thank you. Last question.
If you are able to continue, you said online, how would we find that? Would it be the website for here or Facebook, or how would we find you?
Definitely our team will have it online on our website, dhammajeeviya.com, and Walk for Peace pages like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We have those people who control those pages here. We have a lot of people managing all those. So I will make sure they will make that announcement when I'm ready. But you have been following the Walk for Peace pages, so you should receive information every day when we update anything. And during this time, I will try my best to be present with some small podcast or something like that, or just to say hi with everybody. I will try. Okay, so now we enjoy your time here. More than welcome. I think it's no more rain outside, so you're more than welcome to walk around the garden and toward the temple. And I will go say hi to my team first. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
In the quiet moments of our lives, when the noise of the day settles and we are left with nothing but the rhythm of our own breathing, we often find ourselves asking the same fundamental question. How do we find peace in a world that seems determined to disrupt it? We look at the headlines, we navigate the friction of our family dynamics, and we contend with the anxieties that hum in the background of our minds like white noise. We often treat peace as a destination, a tropical island we might retire to one day, or a state of mind we will achieve once we have solved all our problems. But if there is one profound lesson to be drawn from the extraordinary journey of Venerable Bhikkhu Panikkara and his walk for peace, it is that peace is not a place we arrive at, it is a manner of traveling. It is the quality of the step we take right now, regardless of the terrain under our feet. To understand the depth of this pilgrimage, we must look beyond the physical act of walking across a continent. While the miles traversed are impressive, the true geography being navigated here is the landscape of the human heart. Venerable Panikkara does not present himself as a distant, untouchable master floating above the fray of ordinary life. Instead, he emerges as a humble guide, a fellow traveler who feels the cold, who recognizes the weight of suffering, and who chooses, again and again, to keep his heart open. His journey serves as a mirror for our own. We may not be walking from Georgia to Washington, D.C., but we are all walking through something. We are walking through careers, through marriages, through grief, through the uncertain seasons of raising children or aging parents. The wisdom of the Peace Walk is not reserved for monks in robes. It is a survival kit for anyone trying to remain soft in a hard world. As we traverse our own paths, we inevitably encounter opposition. It is easy to be peaceful when we are surrounded by friends and comfort, but the true test of mindfulness arises when we are faced with hostility. Venerable Panikkara recounts a harrowing ongoing encounter with a protester, a man who followed the Peace Walk from Georgia all the way to the nation's capital, hurling insults, condemnations, and threats. He looked the monk in the eye and promised to shadow him every step of the way, declaring that the walk was leading people to hell. In our own lives, we all have a version of this protester. It might be a critical boss, an estranged family member, or even the harsh inner critic that lives in our own heads, constantly whispering that we are not enough. The conventional reaction to such visceral hostility is defensiveness. We want to argue, to prove our righteousness, or to push the aggressor away. Yet, the monk's response offers a radical alternative rooted in the deepest understanding of karma and compassion. When he learned that this man had been arrested on their final day in D.C., Venerable Panikkara did not feel a sense of triumphant justice or relief. He felt sadness. He felt a deep, resonant pity. "I pray for him," he said, noting that he did not want anyone to get hurt. This is the pivot point of spiritual maturity, the ability to look at someone who is causing you harm and see not a monster, but a suffering being creating their own future misery. Mindfulness teaches us that karma is not a cosmic punishment system where a judge sits on a cloud handing out sentences. Rather, it is a law of physics, an energetic truth. When we carry hatred, we are the first ones to be burned by it. The protester, in his obsession and anger, was carrying a burning coal in his bare hands, intending to throw it at the walkers, but he was the one being scorched. By recognizing this, the monk was able to detach from the insult. He understood that the man's hostility was not about the monk, it was about the man's own internal storm. This is a tool we can use at our dinner tables and in our boardrooms. When someone attacks us, if we can pause and ask, what kind of pain must this person be in to behave this way? We shift from being a victim to being a witness. We step out of the line of fire and into a space of compassion. We realize that we do not have to pick up the angry energy that others lay at our feet. We can leave it there and keep walking. However, the challenges of the road are not always interpersonal. Often, they are circumstantial. We must also contend with the winter seasons of our lives. The peace walkers faced brutal physical conditions, particularly in Virginia, where snowstorms and ice turned the journey into a gauntlet of freezing endurance. Venerable Panikkara speaks of days without proper jackets, of bundling up against a biting wind that left hands and feet numb. He describes the visceral reality of the body fighting the cold, the coughing, the struggle to breathe through scarves, the exposure that made every step a negotiation with pain. This physical ordeal is a potent metaphor for the emotional and psychological winters we all endure. There are times in life when the environment itself seems hostile, when we feel exposed and under-resourced, stripped of our usual comforts and protections. We might be navigating a financial crisis, a health diagnosis, or a dark night of the soul where the warmth of hope feels miles away. The monk's approach to this physical suffering was not to stop, nor to pretend the cold didn't exist. He acknowledges the pain. It feels very painful, but he frames it as a practice. In the West, we are conditioned to view discomfort as a failure or a mistake to be fixed immediately. We numb it, distract ourselves from it, or resent it. But the mindfulness perspective invites us to bundle up inside and keep moving. The numbness of the fingers and the sting of the snow are sensations, arising and passing away. By continuing to put one foot in front of the other despite the conditions, the walkers were cultivating a resilience that comfort can never teach. They learned that the human spirit is waterproof and frostproof. When we are in the midst of our own personal blizzards, the goal is not to force the sun to come out, but to trust that if we keep walking, the weather will eventually change. The snow always melts. The only way out of the winter is through it. Why endure such hardship? Why walk through the snow and the insults? The answer lies in the profound impact of presence. Venerable Panikkara reflects on the moments that shook him the most, not the thunder of the storms, but the quiet confessions of strangers. People approached him with tears in their eyes, saying, "You saved my life." Not just one person, but many. This reveals a heartbreaking and hopeful truth about our society. There is a vast, silent ocean of suffering just beneath the surface of the smiling American face. People are lonely, desperate, and starved for a sign that peace is possible. When the monk walks by, he is not performing a miracle in the theatrical sense. He is simply offering a presence that is distinct from the frantic, transactional energy of the everyday world. He is a walking reminder that there is another way to be. For someone standing on the precipice of despair, seeing a group of people dedicated solely to peace, willing to suffer the cold for it, can be the lifeline that pulls them back. It is a testament to the ripple effect of our intentions. We often think we need to be wealthy, famous, or powerful to make a difference. But the walk for peace teaches us that our state of being is the contribution. When you show up to your life with kindness, when you listen to a friend without checking your phone, when you remain calm in a crisis, you are emitting a signal. You never know who is watching you and borrowing your strength. You might be saving a life simply by being the one person in the room who isn't afraid. Yet, even the strongest walker cannot make the journey entirely alone. The myth of the solitary hero is dismantled when Venerable Panikkara speaks of his meeting with the venerable scholar Bhikkhu Bodhi and other senior monks in Washington, D.C. These elders, waiting at the finish line, offered the affirmation that every human soul craves: "We are proud of you." They acknowledged the difficulty of the journey and validated the effort. This highlights the indispensable value of Sangha, or community. In the spiritual marketplace of the modern world, we often try to DIY our enlightenment. We use apps, we read books, and we meditate in isolation. While personal practice is vital, Venerable Panikkara admits that practicing on our own is very difficult. Without the support of a community, our motivation wanes. The fire goes out. We need the reflection of others to see our own growth. This is why he commits to continuing his teaching online, bridging the physical distance with technology to create a digital Sangha. He recognizes that we are pack animals, spiritually speaking. We need to know that when we stumble, someone else is there to remind us of the path. Building peace is a collective architecture. One person can lay a brick, but it takes many hands to build the temple. We are invited to find our own walking partners, friends, groups, or communities that hold us accountable to our highest selves. This circle of connection, however, does not stop at the boundary of the human species. One of the most touching elements of the monk's narrative is the inclusion of the non-human world, symbolized by the story of Aloka. Whether reflecting on the dogs rescued or the animals encountered along the dusty roads of India or the highways of America, the monk's heart reveals a boundless capacity for love. He speaks of establishing a foundation to support animals, recognizing them as fellow travelers in the cycle of existence. This is the expansion of metta, or loving kindness, to its logical conclusion. If we only love those who look like us or speak our language, our peace is fragile and conditional. True mindfulness recognizes the spark of life in all beings, the dog seeking shelter, the bird in the tree, the ecosystem that sustains us. In a world facing environmental crisis and mass extinction, this message is urgent. The walk for peace is also a walk for the planet. It is a call to treat the vulnerable and the voiceless with the same reverence we would show a high priest. When we extend our compassion to an animal, we are practicing a love that expects nothing in return, which is the purest form of love there is. It softens the heart and prepares us to be more gentle with our human neighbors as well. As the essay of this journey draws to a close, we return to the voice of Venerable Panikkara, not as a distant figure on a podium, but as a friend making a solemn promise. If you don't leave me, I will not leave you, he vows. Even if I have to sacrifice my life to do this, I am happy to do this. This is the Bodhisattva spirit, the dedication to the welfare of others above one's own comfort. The walk may have physically ended at the Lincoln Memorial, but the energy it generated continues. The monk reminds us that the rain is behind us. The storms we weathered yesterday have passed, and we are left with the fertile ground they watered. The challenge now is to take the inspiration from this transcript, the resilience of the winter walker, the compassion for the protester, the love for the animal, and weave it into the fabric of our Tuesday mornings and our Friday nights. We are all on a pilgrimage. The path is under your feet right now as you read this. It is in the way you greet the next person you see. It is in the patience you show when things go wrong. It is in the quiet vow to be a source of warmth in a cold season. So, let us bundle up against the chill, keep our hearts open to both the friends and the enemies we meet along the way, and walk each other home. The journey is long, but as Venerable Panikkara reminds us, we do not have to walk it alone, and every step taken in love is a victory.